Most people start their birthday with a flurry of phone notifications, a special breakfast, and the expectation that the next 24 hours should feel fundamentally different from the rest of the year. We are taught from a very young age that our birthday is our personal holiday. It is a day when the rules of productivity might not apply, when calories don't count, and when friends and family are expected to shower us with attention. However, there is a significant group of people who approach this date with a shrug. To them, it is just another Tuesday. They wake up, go to work, eat their usual lunch, and go to bed at their normal time without a second thought. Understanding why some people treat their birthday like a normal day requires looking deep into psychology, personal history, and the way we construct our identities. For many, the decision to ignore their birthday is a defense mechanism against the weight of expectations. There is a specific kind of social pressure associated with birthdays that can feel quite heavy. Society tells us we must be happy, we must celebrate, and we must be surrounded by people who love us. If a person feels that their life doesn't currently match that perfect image, the birthday becomes a painful reminder of what is missing. By treating it as a normal day, they remove the stakes. If it is just a regular day, then it doesn't matter if they don't have a big party or if they feel a bit lonely. They are essentially opting out of a game where the rules feel rigged against their current emotional state. Another common psychological reason is the reflection of aging. In our culture, birthdays are often seen as milestones on a timeline. When we are children, each year is a victory, a sign that we are growing bigger and stronger. But as we enter adulthood, birthdays can start to feel like a countdown. For some, the passing of another year triggers a sense of existential dread. They look at the date and think about the things they haven't achieved yet, or the goals they set for themselves that remain unfulfilled. By ignoring the day, they are, in a way, ignoring the ticking clock. If they don't acknowledge the milestone, they don't have to face the uncomfortable questions about where their life is headed. There is also the element of personality and introversion. Some people simply do not enjoy being the center of attention. For an introvert, the idea of a surprise party or a long dinner where everyone is looking at them and singing can feel more like a punishment than a reward. These individuals value their privacy and their peace. They might feel that the performative nature of a birthday celebration is exhausting. They would much rather have a quiet evening with a book or a single close friend than deal with the social energy required to be a birthday person. For them, a normal day is the best gift they could give themselves because it offers the comfort of routine and the absence of social anxiety. In some cases, the habit of ignoring birthdays comes from childhood. Our early experiences shape how we view celebrations. If someone grew up in a household where birthdays were not prioritized, or perhaps were even forgotten, they might grow up seeing the day as unimportant. Conversely, some people had birthdays that were so over the top or stressful that they developed a distaste for the entire concept. If a child's birthday was always marred by family arguments or high-pressure expectations, that person might reach adulthood and decide that the safest, happiest way to spend the day is to do absolutely nothing out of the ordinary. There is also a philosophical perspective to consider. Some people treat their birthday like a normal day because they believe in the concept of everyday gratitude. They might feel that picking one specific day to feel special is arbitrary. To them, the logic is simple. If you want to eat cake on a Thursday. If you want to see your friends, call them when you miss them. They don't want to wait for a calendar date to give them permission to enjoy life. This mindset is actually quite grounded. It suggests that the person is content enough with their daily life that they don't feel the need for a peak experience once a year to make up for the other 364 days. We must also consider the role of modern technology and social media. Today, birthdays have become very public events. Facebook reminds all your acquaintances to send you a message, and Instagram requires a perfectly curated photo of your celebration. This digital performance can feel shallow to many people. They see the generic happy birthday messages from people they haven't spoken to in 5 years as a chore to respond to. By treating the day like any other, they are reclaiming their time and energy from the digital world. They are choosing a real, quiet life over a noisy, virtual one. For some, it is simply a matter of humility or a dislike of materialism. They might feel that the commercialization of birthdays, with the focus on gifts and spending money, is disconnected from what actually matters. They might be the kind of people who prefer to give rather than receive. On their birthday, they might go to work and perform their duties with extra care, or perhaps they do something kind for someone else without mentioning why. For these individuals, the egocentric nature of a birthday feels uncomfortable. They prefer to stay under the radar and keep their life focused on their work, their family, and their long-term values rather than a short-term ego boost. Interestingly, there is a segment of the population that treats their birthday as a normal day because they are extremely focused on their goals. High achievers often view holidays or special occasions as distractions. If they are in the middle of a big project or training for a marathon, they don't want to break their momentum just because they are 1 year older. To them, the routine is sacred. The discipline of a normal day is what brings them satisfaction, not the temporary indulgence of a party. They find more joy in the progress they make on their normal day than they would in a day of leisure. Finally, we have to acknowledge that for many, it is a sign of emotional maturity and self-sufficiency. When we are young, we rely on others to make us feel special. We need the party and the presents to feel validated. As some people grow older, they develop a stronger internal sense of worth. They don't need a chorus of people telling them they are important because they already believe it. They are comfortable in their own skin and happy with their own company. Treating a birthday like a normal day isn't necessarily a sign of sadness or cynicism. It can be a sign of a person who is at peace with themselves. They don't need the world to stop for them because they are happy just to be a part of the world as it keeps spinning. While society might look at these people and think they are boring or grumpy, the reality is much more complex. Whether it is a choice made out of a desire for peace, a focus on goals, or a rejection of social pressure, treating a birthday as a normal day is a valid way to navigate life. It allows for a life lived on one's own terms, free from the calendar's demands. It reminds us that while milestones are worth noting, the beauty of life often lies in the ordinary, quiet moments that happen every single day, regardless of what the date is.